channel, and today we're going to be going over
the feint. Thank you, Maggie, for the introduction. All right, so like Maggie said today, we are going to be going over the feint. Feinting. What is feinting? Sounds a lot like faking. It's kind of what it is. You're getting your opponent to think that you're about to commit to something that you're not, in an effort to get them to commit to something that you can anticipate. All sports have feinting to some degree, you know, a way to get your opponent to call their hand too soon, to get out of position. But most importantly, to make a move that you can anticipate, right? And that's what you want to do in boxing. Like, not only do you want to get them to buy your sell, but you want to get them to do a move that you know what they're going to do before they do, and allows you to really take advantage of it. So imagine this scenario. I'm with my fighter, Dylan Hirschhorn, and I'm throwing the jab at him. And like a well-trained fighter, he's going for the parry. He's going for the parry, right? If I can get him to believe that jab is going to come and get him to go for the parry, he'll be out of position enough to get me to land a left hook, right? So that was me studying him, letting him have some success on the parry, and then showing him a jab just enough to get him out of position where I could throw that hook. So twofold here, right? I had to first get him to believe a jab was going to come, but then I also had to get him to, pick the correct punch to go with the way that I thought he was going to open himself up. So you gotta sell your technique, and you have to have a little bit of anticipation about what they're gonna do beforehand, all right? Imagine this scenario. I'm throwing body shots at my man Dylan, and like a well-trained fighter, I'm changing my level, and like I tell you to do when you throw body shots, I'm changing my level, and I'm going to that body, changing my level, going to that body. Well, I can feint that I'm coming for that body shot to get an opening for an overhand right. So in that respect, I didn't necessarily have to feint the punch like I was doing before with the jab. That one, I had feinted the movement. He got used to seeing that movement equaled the body shot. So when I showed him that movement and he went for the defense of the body shot, he opened himself up for the headshot. You can definitely feint punches like we've gone over, you know, feint to change the levels like we go over. You can feint your movements also, right? I could be stepping to the right, my opponent's keeping up with me, and I can feint that shot and get them out of position in order to land shots also, right? So you can feint punches, you can feint your level change, and you can definitely feint all the footwork that's associated with boxing. In terms of not being feinted, you want to be you want to adhere to your fundamental boxing techniques as much as possible. You don't want to do things that are super committed, right? And that's a tough thing for young boxers new to the game to get that actually being a little bit more conservative helps you in terms of not being out of position or falling for a feint, right? So I've been boxing with Dylan. He knows I'm now trying to feint him. So in any defense that he's going to come out for, he knows it's going to be a detriment to him. So he's just going to be very conservative, trying to block these shots, right? And then even if I'm able to trick him with a feint, it doesn't really open him up anywhere. That you can do at the gym or with somebody is take some sort of implement. I got a medicine ball here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that medicine ball in with my elbows, in with my guard, basically. My man Dylan's going to start throwing shots at me, start throwing punches at me, and I'm going to be defending, right? And what Dylan's going to eventually try to do is feint me and see if he can get me out of position and get me to drop that ball. If he's successful, that means I was not successful in having good technique, because that means I went from my good lever point of my guard to extending out for no reason. There's no reason I need to extend out. There's no reason I need to fall for a feint like that. So take that, place it in your grasp, have your go, throwing those shots, Dylan, and eventually Dylan try to feint me and see if I can just keep this into my grasp. Top fighters feint, all right? And you'll see a lot of the guys that are noted for their speed. If you really watch them, they feint a lot. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, you know, young Mike Tyson. all these top guys would feint before they would really get their opponent out of feint to get their opponent out of position, and then they would really commit to those big shots. So think about feinting, study these guys, and like and subscribe.